Why hello everyone, how are you doing this fine day? Hope you're enjoying your week. So I've decided a new thing I'm going to do for the future of the channel. If you've been with me a while, you know I make a lot of videos each month, usually about 16 in a month. But more recently I've been pretty busy. Like in December I was only able to get out about 10. This month is probably not going to be all that much either. So I've decided that when I can't get a video out, I'm just going to take arguments that I have in the stream, edit them together, and release them out for you guys to watch. These are not going to be replacements for my Would You Survive challenge videos. If you didn't get these, you just wouldn't get anything because I'm too busy with life stuff or whatever. It's just a lot faster to cut these together and release these than to film and edit a Would You Survive challenge from scratch. I'm hoping this will do two things. One, it'll make sure that I can release videos more often to entertain you guys, but also it'll vary the different types of stuff that I release just overall. So that's what this is. This is a debate that I had last Saturday on stream in the channel's Discord server. Also, if you're interested in entering a stream and debating me live and possibly having your own video made and edited together and released, by all means come to the Discord. The link is down below. We have a stream every Saturday. We've been holding them at 7 p.m. We're probably going to change them to 6 p.m. from this point on. 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Anyway, I have wasted enough of your time. Hope you enjoyed the video.
I have a few people in here who wanted to do Helldivers and who wanted to talk about like training and shit.
Okay, well I already promised this guy earlier that I would do. The choice is mine. The choice is mine.
I know it's yours. It's yours. I told chat earlier I don't have final say. You do.
Yeah, the choice is mine. No, his name is the choice is mine.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't being. You thought I was being a dick? Being like the choice is mine. Like, who the fuck talks like that? No, his name. He's telling me his name is the choice is mine.
No, I found him. There we go.
Just thought I was being a complete asshole. Like, no, Dan, get in your fucking place. The choice is mine. Jesus. Okay.
Well, welcome. The choice is mine. The choice is Rouga's. So fuck you.
Always.
To make this more interesting, because I actually kind of liked the 2v2. I think it was more engaging than a 1v1. Does anybody want to join us? Because he wanted to talk about Warhammer 40k versus either Doom or Helldivers. I'll be honest with you. I'm tired of talking about Helldivers, but I'll talk about Doom. I could do a Doom versus Warhammer 40k debate.
If there are people who want for Warhammer 40k and Doom, you said?
Yeah, I'd rather talk about Doom than Helldivers. I talked enough about Helldivers. I mean, we could do Helldivers again later, but I liked the idea that I was given an option, and I'm gonna pick Doom. Who in the chat knows a lot about Warhammer 40k and would like to assist? The choice is yours. And who knows a lot about Doom and would like to assist me? If there aren't any people that know a lot about Doom, I could just do a 2v1. I don't mind.
I know a decent bit about Doom, but I've read a lot more books in Warhammer, and I play a lot more Warhammer games. So.
There aren't that many books on Doom. There's a couple of non-canon comic books that really don't matter all that much. Pretty much all the lore it takes place in the main games. Before we get started, let's narrow it down. What exactly are we talking about? Are we talking about Universe versus Universe, Doomslayer in 40k, 40k surviving the demonic invasion? What are we talking about?
I think honestly the 41st and then Doom Invasion, because then you can also go all the way to the point where you're fighting Davoth and the Prime Evils and everything. Who want to go that far?
So you want to do the demonic invasion. So we're gonna leave Doomslayer out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I mean,
Doomslayer just solos any universe you put him in.
He's
like,
not. He's.
I mean, Doomslayer just yeah.
He's it's not really a fair character to put in these sort of challenges. But I do like him. Let's get started. Why do you think Warhammer 40k wins?
Well, when it comes to Warhammer, the Necrons they have tech that can like blow up entire solar systems. Then there's some of the standard issue Necron weapons. Features are called.
They break things down on like a molecular level. It's
yeah.
Gauss rifle.
Then there's their phase blades. The phase blades are capable of like basically slashing through any type of armor. They're also capable of slashing through dimensions.
Yeah, that's where the name comes from. Is the phase? They can phase in and out of dimensions, therefore getting through any kind of armor you have.
Then the Imperium of Man, their chain swords. I don't remember exactly what they're called. Bitches are called chain swords. We see regular space marines with chain swords. Sword clashing Necrons with phase blades, meaning their swords are capable of resisting blades that can cut through entire fucking dimensions.
Okay, you look. None of this is really going to help or be useful. I don't think that it matters that you have weapons that are going to hurt the demons. They're probably going to be able to damage the demons. For one, I think it's very possible that the Argent Blood will melt your fucking weapons. I think maybe that's possible. But again, I don't think it's going to matter. I think the demons vastly outnumber the number of people who exist within 40k, like to an insane degree. I would say that they actually outnumber all factions within 40k combined.
Hell's an infinite dimension, right?
Yes, but it's also an amalgamation of countless universes
Yeah, they're
since the
basically
beginning of
alien,
time.
right?
Yeah.
That
have
that's just
been
infinite.
Yeah, it's like, so yeah, they could just keep coming. The only real, like, you're not going to be able to stop them just by throwing numbers at them. Basically every single person in Warhammer 40k is going to be very susceptible to the corruption because they're already relatively corruptible and corrupted themselves
That's
already.
true.
Basically, the moment the demons come in, the corruption is going to start affecting people really quick. Certain people we've seen get affected in a couple of weeks. And then they're gonna have things like Space Marines turning on each other and killing each other and stuff, because as they're turning into demons, when people become corrupted, they become vastly more powerful versions of themselves. So demonic Space Marines will be significantly stronger than regular Space Marines. Yeah, and I really don't see a way that Warhammer 40k, even characters like the Emperor of
Chaos
Mankind
Gods.
or even Chaos Gods, are going to be able to permanently put down well, for one, most of the Chaos Gods are going to want to put down the demons until Davoth becomes a problem. Actually, you know what? I'm wrong. Khorne is going to want to put down the demons. Because if the corruption comes in and turns everyone into demons, that's it. There's no one left to fight. So,
Oh, yeah, that is
For
true.
A lot of
That
the
is true.
Chaos Gods, a lot of the Chaos Gods, they feed off of emotion, right? They feed off of emotion and worship, basically.
yeah, and the demons don't have negative emotion.
Yeah, they just they follow orders and they have no fear.
Well, here's the thing. Tzeentch also thrives off change, which there's going to be a lot of change happening.
At first.
Tzeentch shouldn't be able to be affected by that because hell is outside of time and space. It's outside the multiverse.
Well, I mean, hell is for sure, but he should, if he gets empowered by change, the change that happens within Warhammer 40k would still affect him. However, once the Warhammer... Okay, so are the Chaos Gods in the Warhammer 40k universe, or they exist in a different universe outside of it?
It's like a pocket dimension, something like that.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay,
Not
so it's
entirely
all
sure,
one universe. Okay, the demons are going to start corrupting everyone. They're going to start turning them into demons. The demons are going to be more powerful versions of the already existing demons. And the demons are going to start basically copying powers that those demons have, because you're going to get like fucking Tyrannid fucking demons and shit you're just going to have a bunch of super powered versions of them, and then the entire universe is going to get sucked into hell. I mean, is there even any evidence that the Chaos Gods will not get corrupted? Because the corruption has corrupted gods in the Doom universe.
The Chaos Gods, they're more like forces of nature than they are like beings, right? Like the Khorne, it's a force of like hate, war, honor. Tzeentch is a force of change. Nurgle's a force of life and death.
Slanesh is
Slanesh
like
is passion,
and
success.
stuff like that.
Yeah. So I don't think that you could corrupt the Chaos Gods. My argument is less about the numbers and the power of the armies in Warhammer, and it's more about heroes finding their way to get to the point that Doomslayer gets to, right? To get a Crucible, to maybe even kill Primevals, to get to Davoth. I think that in a lot of ways, Warhammer would be able to stand up to Doom, like give these heroes time, and then the heroes would have a chance to get to where Doomslayer got.
Well, Warhammer 40k doesn't really have heroes, really. I mean, they have heroes, but their version of heroes. But most people in Warhammer 40k aren't heroic. They're super fucked up. But
I mean, power. I guess I should say powerful.
Yeah.
rather
But
than heroes.
I don't think that's ever going to happen, because Doomguy himself is a primeval.
Beast.
He was born a primeval. It's not something. He came into existence as a primeval. It's not something that he earned or acquired. He gained more power as he grew older and older and older until, But I don't really see how Warhammer 40k can go down that same suit, because none of them are primevals. I don't see them like stealing the power of the demons and fusing with them. I don't see any of that happening. I mean, really, the only reason why Doomguy is capable of doing what he's doing is because he's a primeval, and because he has the powers specifically of being incorruptible. He is incorruptible in body, mind, and soul. There's nobody in the Doom universe who matches that same type of character. I don't think just any warrior in anything could become Doomguy. It takes a very specific type of character in order to become that. I don't even know who you would pick.
I would be thinking like Khal Drogo, who lives in the warp, or some of the Primarchs who probably live in the warp.
Wait, did you say Khal Drogo?
Yeah, he like Game of Thrones. Yes.
Which came out first?
I think Warhammer.
Someone
first? I'm
ripped
not
somebody off. There's no
Someone
way.
ripped
That's
somebody
too.
off, yeah.
I know you don't know like barely anything about 40k, but the orcs, first off, the orcs are like fungi. I don't think the demonic corruption is gonna be able to corrupt every single orc.
It absolutely will.
Because
Unless they all believe that it's impossible for them all to be corrupted, which they have no reason to believe, because they're going to start getting corrupted pretty shortly after the demons get there. They're going to see that it's possible. so they're not going to believe it. Ergo, they're all going to get corrupted. In fact, they might even fear the corruption even more if they start seeing massive swaths of them becoming corrupted, and they all might get a unanimous belief that they will be corrupted faster than they otherwise would. And I don't see how they would be immune to it.
Orcs in 40k are pretty much immune to the Warhammer corruption because they just don't really follow the Chaos Gods. They follow their own orc and morc. Like, they care about getting stronger and more fighty, but they mostly just care about fighting and winning. So that might be where the Doom corruption could come in. But I think, like, they haven't been shown that they get corrupted in their own universe. So I don't know if they would be corrupted.
Not all
by
corruption.
the
Well, not all corruptions are the same. I mean, you just said yourself
Yeah,
that the reason why they don't get corrupted is because they don't worship the Chaos Gods. That's not a relevant factor for the Doom demonic corruption. As long as you have a soul and a body and a mind, you can be corrupted by the Doom demonic corruption, and they have all three of those. So I don't see a reason why they wouldn't be able to be corrupted. And you'd have to tell me how the corruption in Warhammer 40k works and why that would matter.
Khorne would honestly probably be one of the few characters that could stop the demonic invasion because, well, everything they do is just going to empower him. And because of how many, like, demons there's going to be just flowing in to the Warhammer universe, all the bloodshed, violence, crap like that, it's probably going to make him strong enough to where he can probably handle it by himself.
Yeah, but none of the Chaos Gods are capable of destroying the entirety of their own universes by themselves. They don't have that level of power. When you go and look over into the Doom universe, I mean, fuck, even the Icon of Sin can destroy a whole universe on his own. He's not even the strongest Titan. And then there are demon lords that are above the Titans, and then there's Davoth himself that are above them. Like, the Chaos Gods are not that powerful. I mean, the thing that makes them so powerful in the Warhammer 40k universe is that they're hard to kill because they're basically like the concept of that thing made real. But gods in the Doom universe can destroy concepts. There's no reason why Davoth couldn't just erase them or kill them pretty easily. I mean, they're just concepts. Conceptual erasure is not something that's super unique in terms of fictional stories when you're talking about things that are this powerful.
I think Davoth could definitely erase. Like, Davoth is insane. Davoth is an insane character, and that's where kind of like everybody hits the roadblock in Doom. I feel like is Davoth and the Primevals, as they're just not destroyable unless you can destroy concepts. And like, yeah, Warhammer gods can't do that. I do think that once Doom opens up, like all these demons start flooding into the Warhammer universe. Wow, freaking!
I know, man. It's
yeah.
like
it's late, and I did a D&D session today too, so I'm fucking.
Oh, bro,
burnt.
you need to go
Yeah.
exercise or something.
I was the DM as well. Anyway,
Go for a run.
Khorne would get massively boosted, I feel like, by the demons coming in, just because they exude violence, death, and war, right? Like the whole point of I'm gonna say hell, but don't they have a whole own name for the universe? I can't remember.
Jekkad?
Jekkad, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Jekkad, their whole point is conquest and war, right? Like that's the whole point of Jekkad.
Just kind of corrupt and shit. So Davoth's whole point was to grant immortality to his people, because he loved his people so much and he hated that they died and they had to suffer bad fates. So he created basically the Jekkadians, who were incapable of feeling any negative emotions or pain or suffering. He heightened their level of ambition. He took away their need to sleep or drink. He took away things like their guilt and their fear. And surprise, surprise, doing all this made a pretty fucked up society. So yeah, they end up becoming demons because of a bunch of stuff. That's another thing. The demons exist because Davoth's, like, just anger passively corrupted an infinite realm of beings to all-powerful demon creatures. Like, just his emotions affect the infinite multiverse, which is kind of crazy. You could also even argue, to an extent, the moment the demons actually enter in Warhammer 40k, Davoth's mental state would just suddenly start affecting that world in kind of a similar way immediately. But yeah, I don't think Khorne is powerful enough to take on most of, like, the demon lords or even
Well, that's what
all
I'm
the
saying.
Titans.
I think that opening up Jekkad to the Warhammer universe, like the moment the demons start flooding in, the moment that those portals are open, that power source is now going into Khorne, into all the gods of chaos. And there are gods for the elves too. I can't remember all their names either. But
Tesseract.
yeah. Kane is another one that would be very powered up, I feel like, by the demons. I think that would power up Khorne enough, because you're adding in universes of beings that have been conglomerated into Jekkad.
Sure, but you have a character like Khorne who could infinitely rise in power, and then you have a character like Davoth who has infinite power. Davoth would win that. I mean,
Yeah,
Davoth
I
doesn't have any limits to where he can. Now, maybe you could say that with enough of that fighting and rage, and well, there wouldn't be any rage because demons don't get angry, but with that violence building and constant, for one, it's temporary because eventually all of them will be corrupted and then the violence will stop. I guess demons do kind of sort of fight with each other a little bit as well, so I guess there would still always kind of be there. But even if you want to say that they got stronger because of that, would he get to the point where he's so strong that he has an infinite amount of power over that of Davoth, who could literally erase all of existence, an infinite multiverse of infinite timelines with a thought? Is Khorne ever going to get that strong? Because he can't do anything even close to that. So
yeah, my argument wasn't that he would kill Davoth. My argument was that Khorne or a hero or a superpowered being of Warhammer would get to the point of Doomslayer and basically be able to beat Doom by doing what Doomslayer did.
Well, you'd have to. Well, there's no way he's going to go through the exact same storyline that Doom did. I mean, he would have to go meet the Makers. He would have to get trained by the Sentinels. He would have to go into the Divinity machine. None of that exists in Warhammer. They have no way of doing the exact same things. It's not like Doomguy, like, you know, just picked up an item that the demons were carrying with them and got, you know, the power that he has. There was a lot of shit and billions of years of story that got him as strong as he is. No one in Warhammer has access to that stuff. They would have to like go through hell, then somehow acquire power that Davoth's power, and then put it into a Divinity machine, and then use the Divinity machine, and then fight for billions of years acquiring Wraith energy crystals that also increase Doomguy's power. And like, there's a lot of stuff that Doomguy went to get to the strength that he is. And no one in Warhammer is going to become Doomguy. It's not going to happen because nobody's going to go through the exact same plot line that he went through, basically, is my argument.
There's actually a Catan, the only living Catan, if I remember correctly, that was stated that if it was released onto, if not released, but if it were to return to the Warhammer universe, then it would be its doom. Everything would end.
So what are you saying, that a Catan's going to show up in the demon realm and destroy all of hell?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that there are beings that could stand up, if only just barely stand up to the demonic corruption and the demons.
Not really, because I mean, look, even let's say there's a being that exists in Warhammer 40k who has the power to instantly erase the entire Warhammer 40k universe. That would not be a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the power that exists within Doom, because Doom is just a much larger universe. Like, you're talking about, like, it's not just Davoth. The crazy part is Davoth is not even the most powerful god of the Doom universe. He's just the most powerful one we've met. Hugo Martin, the creator of Doom, has actually talked about how there are other gods that are even above Davoth that we just have. Like, Davoth created the multiverse as we know it. But the multiverse, the infinite multiverse of infinite timelines that Davoth created, is not the entirety of the Doom-verse. There's more. There's other gods outside of that have created their own multiverses and their own worlds, and they're going to eventually explore that in future games. Davoth is just the one that, you know, we've seen thus far. Because the world of 40k is smaller, I mean, none of the gods can just snap their fingers and alter all of reality to be exactly the way they want it to. Davoth kind of can. They're just not comparable. It's just not on that same league. Like, you literally have to have a god, not like God like Dragon Ball Z Beerus type of god, not a god like a chaos god, like an actual legit, like one above all type god in order to overcome a person like Davoth. Or you would have to have someone that just defies literally every law in fiction like Doomguy does, who can just kill anything at all times and just be as strong as he wants to be. It's really not a fair conversation, to be honest with you, to really put Doom.
Does that mean that Davoth can get beat by, like, the Mask or by Deadpool because of their rules?
What do you mean?
The Mask's whole thing is that, like, he literally has reality warping and stands outside of the laws of the known universe, at least the universe that he's in. And Deadpool is kind of the same way, like with his fourth wall breaking abilities. And
no, I mean, people talk about Deadpool very oddly. Deadpool gets his ass beat a lot by regular dudes with regular stuff.
He really does.
Yeah, like, I know there's the whole Deadpool killed the Marvel Universe. It is an alternate universe story of a much weaker version of the Marvel Universe, where he was capable of killing people like Hulk and things like that, where in 616 Hulk has been shown to that shit doesn't work on him. So it's kind of like Marvel Zombies, where like Marvel Zombies, Galactus was killed because a bunch of zombies bit him and ate him, and he turned into a zombie. Galactus in 616 would never turn into a zombie from getting bit by a zombie. It would
Okay.
never happen. In fact, it
But
actually
yeah.
did.
My point with the mask still stands. Davoth could technically be beat by someone like the mask or like Popeye,
How?
who can come off the page and punch his own creator.
That's not. I mean, not really. What? Why?
Because that's
Well-
basically what you said. You said that Davoth can be beat by somebody who defies the laws.
No, I
of
said he could be.
the known universe.
No, I said he could be beat by Doomguy, who defies. So that wasn't saying that he could be defeated by anybody who defies the law. Doomguy is literally created to overcome any issue that he could possibly overcome. His power is that he is as strong as he wills himself to be. If he doesn't have a power to defeat someone, he will will a new power into existence to overcome it. That's what Hugo Martin said. There's a reason why I haven't put Doomguy in any Would You Survive challenges, because it's dumb. It would be a dumb conversation to have. He would just dominate everything. It's not really fair. Davoth and the demonic invasion was specifically designed to be unstoppable, and then Doomguy was specifically designed to be someone who could stop something that is unstoppable.
Yeah, this isn't fair.
No, I mean I don't know
Like-
anything. I don't know anything about 40k, and that's why I was.
I-
He said he wanted to talk about it, so I was like, okay. I don't know what 40k has, but
Yeah, so I still have a few.
I feel
still
like-
have a few ways that this could go about.
all right,
Yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
So there's a few characters in.
I
Warhammer
feel like he
40K.
gave up, and he should just be like throwing the towel, cause like he seems like he's done. Glorious.
Well,
Well, Glorious, I can send you
Glorious-
back to the audience. Like,
he just
Oh,
threw in the towel.
yeah. yeah, like I don't think there's anything 40k can really do.
Man.
Sure, their characters are strong and all, but
for
the
the two
Doom is
people
on a
that we
whole
brought
nother
in,
level.
for the two people that we brought in for 40k, I do have a question. Would Warhammer in its golden age have been able to resist the corruption better than the 40k age?
The thing about that is, each faction in Warhammer, well, most of the factions in Warhammer, their golden ages were at completely separate times. For example, the Imperium's golden age was during the Dark Age of Humanity, the Necrons, the War in Heaven, the Eldar, when they were at the height of their empire, the Orcs when they were the Quarks. Most of these factions existed at completely different times at the heights of their power. So if we were to, do that with that scenario, we would have to just mash them all into the Warhammer universe at their heights of their power.
I actually think the War in Heaven, they might be more susceptible to the Doom invasion, because at the time of War in Heaven, they didn't have to deal with chaos corruption. They had to deal with super powerful people making super powerful things, like the old ones, and facing off the Necron and the gods in the Chill universe. They turned them into star gods.
Yeah.
They would have to face those things, but they wouldn't have any defense against the corruption. Whereas in modern 40k, everyone is kind of everyone knows demons can corrupt you, right? Or it's a bedtime story for everybody, or everyone in power knows that can happen, so they kind of resist it on basis.
There's also the fact that there's one less Chaos God, which instantly makes it weaker when we think about it god-wise.
I don't necessarily think it matters. You can have 100 Chaos Gods. I think the moment you put Davoth in, it's just too off balance. The Davoth kind of breaks the whole system.
Okay, but ignoring Davoth, because Davoth breaks the system in pretty much any of your Doom survival challenges.
Basically, yeah.
Do they get
He's
to
a hard stop
Demon
for
Lord
most
tier?
things.
Mr. M, fun fact, the Elder God of War rarely wins fights.
Except against Slanesh, apparently.
If we just remove Davoth from the equation, just put Hell and its demonic invasion, can Warhammer reach the Demon Lords?
Okay, so you guys are gonna have to tell me. As for Titans, you have the Icon of Sin, who is not the strongest Titan, but he is a very legendary Titan.
Yeah.
He's able to have universal ranged reality warping, and if left for too long, this happens passively. He can't do anything about it; it just happens naturally. And if you leave him around for too long, the reality warping will break the universe and will essentially open up a hole in space that will drag the entire universe into hell. He was also the corruption around him is also significantly stronger than normal demons, as when he awoke, he corrupted the entire planet of forget the name of the planet, the Maker homeworld. He corrupted every single Maker on the planet except for the Con Maker and Doomguy. Everybody else on the planet got instantly corrupted when he woke up. So much stronger corruption. Basically, if he shows up on any planet he arrives to, everyone will be immediately corrupted. There's characters there's Titans like Dreadnought, who was able to single-handedly take on the entire Sentinel homeworld, which is pretty impressive when you see how strong the Sentinels are. He's weaker than the Icon of Sin. But then you have the strongest Titan, who we only know as Titan, and he was said to be the strongest ever. We have no idea how strong he is. We just know he's above that of the Icon of Sin. And the Demon Lords we've never seen, we've never heard anything. All we know is that the only thing more powerful than the Demon Lords is Davoth himself. Bare fucking minimum. In order for them to survive, they have to be able to survive universe-level reality warpings and the ability to break an entire universe apart passively just by existing. That's without Davoth being there. But even then, they're still probably going to fall to the Demon Lords. Now, one thing that's really cool, because I'm getting like super excited about Doom: The Dark Ages, because the fucking gameplay looks incredible.
Oh yeah.
I'm super. Oh, dude, y'all see the new trailer that just came out? Not
yeah.
Oh god, it looks so good. Okay, so they introduced in that trailer. They show this really big fat demon, and we don't know who he is. They don't tell us who he is, but it looks very similar to concept art that they released in the lore book that I own of Erebus. And Erebus is one of the Demon Lords, and he's said to be like a very powerful Demon Lord. So I think we're going to get Demon Lords in Doom: The Dark Ages. There's a main villain who people are just calling the Hell Prince, but we don't know his name yet. People think that he's a Demon Lord, and people think that the fat dude is probably Erebus, and that's going to be a Demon Lord, and we're going to start seeing Demon Lords and how powerful they are.
So remind me, the Icon of Sin can only be killed by a Crucible or being like deleted from reality, right?
No. As far as we know, it's just a Crucible. So, to be fair, like, they made a deal. Davoth's like, okay, we're going to fight fair, 1v1. If you beat me, every single demon that is outside of Hell, they'll be gone. They'll be erased. But you have to beat me first. And because he deemed it as true, it was true. Doomguy beat him. All the demons got erased outside of Hell. Hell was sealed off from the outside world. Doomguy did his thing. We never saw what happened to the Titans. So, did they get erased? Maybe. We don't know. So I can't really confirm yes or no on that one. But as of right now, it's possible. Short of that, since we really can't answer, even erasing concepts, which is something that Doomguy can do, since he was able to do it to Davoth and other gods in the series, he cannot just physically kill a Titan. So like for whatever reason, Titans, their existence is more solid than Davoth is. Because Hugo Martin has said that it takes, like, primevals are permanent. They cannot be killed except by another primeval, since they have the ability to erase concepts. But Doomguy cannot kill certain Titans. Certain Titans he can't kill. Icon of Sin being one of them, without Crucible. So I don't know. I don't think that there's a way that exists within 40k
Warhammer
to actually put down certain Titans.
So that's why I was asking.
Yeah,
Can you shunt them to other realities, and then can the Icon of Sin travel through time?
Yes, but not in the way that you think. Basically, they can go. Hell exists outside of time, and they can essentially leave Hell and other periods in time, basically. So, like Doomguy gets sent to Hell at the end of Doom 64. He eventually gets kicked out. There's like a little DLC that they came out with where he fought like the mother demon's sister or whatever, and she booted him out of Hell. She's like, you can't stay here, get the fuck out, you're killing all of the demons here. She boots him out. When she boots him out, because the Hell is outside of time, when he comes out, he's not in his normal time. He came out like billions of years in the past, which is why he's meeting the Con Maker, and the Con Maker got introduced to who demons were, and then she made the deal with demons, and that's what created Argent Energy. And in Doom 2016, Doomguy is reliving the exact same events that he went through in the original Doom game, but just now, like billions of years later for him, but the same exact time for everybody. It's basically an alternate timeline, but of the same universe is what he's living through. So yes, they could travel through time, but it's not as simple as I'm just gonna like open up a hole and travel through time. They have to like go back to Hell and then pop out of Hell in a different time period, essentially. But if they...
Well, pretty sure the Warhammer Necrons could possibly manage to recreate the Divinity machine. Possibly.
How would they even know
I'm
about
not
the
sure
existence?
about
I mean, look, even if that were possible, they would have to find out what the Divinity machine
yeah.
is. Which, how would they
have to learn about it?
How would they find that out? It's not in Hell. It's in a totally different universe.
Yeah.
They would they'd have to find it, they'd have to figure out how to build it, then they would have to get a source of Davoth's power, which in this particular case, we were assuming that Davoth was awake. If Davoth's not awake, where are they going to find a source of Davoth's power? In the story, in Doomguy's story, they got a source of Davoth's power by Samor Maker, because Samor Maker was the right hand of Father, and Father was the creation of Davoth, so he had a connection to him. That's how he got a source of him. But also, most people, they made it pretty clear that the vast majority of people go insane when they use the Divinity machine normally. and no regular person would be able to survive going into the Divinity machine with Davoth's power. Doomguy survived because he is a primeval.
Yeah.
If any Space Marine were to do the same thing, even with Davoth's power, they would die. It would kill them.
Okay, so I think we can all agree that with Davoth, the Warhammer 40k universe is probably fucked.
Nah, I still have like 2 or 3 ways to get to Davoth, but yeah.
We'll go for it. Because I think Glorious gave up a long time ago. I honestly don't.
And
I don't even know why he's still arguing, because it seems like he doesn't agree that they could even win. But if you still think that, you go for it.
I think that to get to Davoth, there's one character in particular that I'm thinking of. Lucius the Eternal. He's a Slaaneshi captain for like the Slaanesh. He has a sword where if you kill him, if you defeat him in combat in any way, and you take any kind of pride in it or like joy in it, he then eventually usurps you and like basically takes over you, your powers, your soul, everything. That's like the power of the sword. Now, if Davoth knew about that, he could delete the sword, but he wouldn't know that. Or any creature that fought him wouldn't know that until that happened.
He actually should know, because Davoth can look into infinite timelines. He's essentially omniscient.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
that guy wouldn't work. Okay, so another path, you said somebody would have to basically survive for millions of years, go through the same path or a similar path to what Doomguy did, or it has to be Doomguy's path to get to Davoth?
I mean, it would depend on what the path you're talking about is. Like, if you're talking about getting in the Divinity machine and getting Davoth's power, that's going to kill basically everybody. In the Doom universe, Doomguy is the only person who could have gone through that process and actually come out the other side still alive. So you would have to find, but also I just think it's very unlikely that they'll be able to find the machine that is not in their universe or hell, and then find out how to make it, build it, then get some of Davoth's power. That just all seems very unlikely, and even building the knowledge to even know any of this stuff exists or where it all is, I just don't see that happening. So maybe there's a path they could do it, but it's not going to be Doomguy's path.
Yeah, I think there are characters that could survive for millions of years. There's Necrons that could survive millions of years and do it. There's Necrons that have been awake that long, and they're a little crazy, but they still have a goal. There's Perpetuals in the Imperium and the Eldar who can live as long as, like, they live forever unless you destroy their soul, which Davoth could do, but as long as he doesn't
Well, what's
know.
stopping them from getting corrupted?
well, the
Yeah.
Necrons don't have souls.
Yeah, the Necrons don't have souls. The Necrons can't be corrupted.
No, but
they're basically
but
automaton, but the
you don't.
Perpetuals, yes.
You don't need a soul. Not all demons have souls. It corrupts body, mind, and soul. All you have to do is have one of the 3.
I guess the Necrons would be corrupted then. I thought they had to have a soul. The Necrons do have their mind, so they would eventually be corrupted. So the Perpetuals could maybe, because they just can't die. And like somebody like the Emperor, I think he would eventually be corrupted, but if he had enough time, like say thousands of years, to eventually get to Davoth and kept himself from being corrupted, which I think he'd have one of the best chances because he has such a high willpower. Once again, it's like a battle for time in my head. Like if your universe can survive long enough to get to a point to face Davoth and face him down, what that path is to get there, I think there are characters that can do that. Like Khal Drogo, who lives in the warp. He's constantly. I don't know if Khal Drogo can be turned.
Well, so
he lived in the warp for thousands of years
small
already.
correction, because chat went crazy last time you said Khal Drogo. Khaldor Drago.
Khaldor Drago. My bad. Sorry, chat.
I was so
Khaldor
confused too. I was like, that can't be right. But I took your word for it. I was lied to. Well, I heard about
with Warhammer. They rip everything, so it made sense to me.
Yeah, I heard about like Sly Mambo or whatever. That's basically like a Rambo like
Sly
parody
Marbo,
guy.
at the end of the day, he's a human. Like he would eventually die.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
people said he was a meme character, but I don't know. When people told me about him, he didn't sound like a meme character to me.
Oh wait, wasn't Sly Marbo the one that dated a Tau?
Are these motherfuckers
Yeah, I
dating
don't
each
know.
other? I thought they all hated
I don't
each
think
other.
so. I don't think anybody has got a Tau. Well, I mean, there are Imperials that live in Tau worlds, and they might. No, they wouldn't. The Tau wouldn't let them have Tau.
I could have sworn that there was a Space Marine, if I remember correctly, that was dating a Tau. I could have sworn there was.
Are Tao's
Yeah,
like
I know.
sexy or something?
No, they're cow people. They don't even have.
This is
boobs.
gross. That's gross.
Yeah,
Super
they're cow
gross.
people. They're
It's
cow
awful.
people with a vagina on their head. Basically.
Way to fucking ruin my goddamn fantasies. Okay. So you seem like you're saying take basically the strongest characters in the universe, like the Emperor of Mankind, then have him not get corrupted for thousands of years, and be able to face off against Davoth in a 1v1 fight. You believe that he would beat Davoth in a 1v1 fight?
I think he could, because he has been shown to face characters that move, like, definitely faster than the speed of sound, near the speed of light type stuff. Like facing his own son, who had basically all the powers of the Immaterium, which is like the universe that the chaos lives in. It's like all the powers of emotion and magic and everything.
Well,
He would, like,
the
choose
characters in
one.
the Doom universe are quite a bit faster than light.
I thought they only got 2 light. I thought like the Marauder was.
The
like,
Marauder's so fast that you cannot hit him with any weapon that you have. The Conmaker uses light as a weapon, and you can dodge it. But as I said before, they would scale significantly below the top tiers, and Doomguy's strength and speed matches that of his will. So he's as fast as he wants to be. So
even without like a physical combat, I think that the Emperor with his mental might and like the abilities that the warp gives him and the power he can pull from it would be able to take on Conmaker.
But what could he do? I mean, we're talking Conmaker probably, but maybe the Conmaker's not like a god, you know. She likes to think she is, but she's not. But like I'm talking about specifically fighting Davoth. This is a man that could just think all of existence away. Like it's what can the Emperor of Mankind do?
I guess get his attention. It would have to like I said, it would have to be, hey, look at me, Davoth, fight me. Like basically, get his attention to get that fight to happen.
Davoth can't erase Doomguy. Like that's
right.
like he's
that's
not
the reason
capable.
Doomguy is able to get there because he's
that's
prime.
like that's the whole thing. Like he has to actually be able to defeat and kill Doomguy. That's his only option because they're both primevals. Without the Emperor of Mankind having a similar defense or whatever, I mean you're just putting 2 gods up against each other, but one is just significantly more powerful than the other. So the odds of Emperor of Mankind winning just seems very unlikely.
Not long ago it would have been his perpetualness, but they've kind of tied perpetuality to your soul, so you can delete perpetual, like the perpetual power, if you delete the soul. But let's see, we had Lucius, which I think is possible, but if Davoth can see it coming, then he would just delete the sword. You can delete the Emperor. The Emperor has time and gets his attention and challenges him. There's other characters that are like nearly as uncorruptible, if not more than the Emperor, that could I think withstand the corruption long enough to get to there. As far as like if we take Davoth out, I think there's ways to take on the Icon of Sin. But yeah, I don't think there's no character in Warhammer. I'll concede there's no character in Warhammer that I think could get to Davoth and defeat him, right? With like not in like in a sure way. I think there's like a 0.00001 chance, but there's a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there are characters that can survive the amount of time, resist the corruption to a point to get Davoth's attention.
I don't doubt that Davoth may gain respect for some warriors in Warhammer 40k and give them the chance to fight him. I don't doubt that necessarily. He's a pretty honorable warrior for like the fucking god of evil. I just don't think that any of them would be able to win in a fight, 1v1 fight. I just don't see how they would be able to overcome that much of a power gap.
That's where I think like Korn would be the best chance, because he would be powered up by the demons. He would have the best chance, I feel like, to actually face Davoth in a physical fight.
Well, wait, hold up.
That's an old point we made. Sorry, go ahead.
Both Khorne and Davoth are honorable. Well, most depictions of Khorne are honorable. So theoretically, I feel like Davoth would probably, 1v1 Khorne first. And remember that Khorne is fueled by violence, meaning he would get stronger as the battle goes on.
It doesn't matter. Like I kind of already went over this, but
yeah,
if you're just infinitely gaining, like acquiring power, that's cool. But you're fighting someone who has infinite power, so you'll never reach that infinite level that Davoth is already at. I mean, Doomguy versus Davoth is basically 2 infinite powered beings fighting each other.
Chat wants me to bring up the Tesseract Labyrinth, the Necron time prison. Can that theoretically seal away Davoth?
I'd say it could seal some of like the Icon of Sin, but not Davoth. Davoth could probably just walk out. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. Delete this universe. I'm out of here.
Now, to be fair, Davoth was sealed. He was sealed by Father in a life sphere.
Still.
Yeah, but the life spheres, I don't know what the time prison is, but the life sphere is literally, it's a being's entire conceptual existence trapped in an orb. Like, I don't know if that's what the time prison is.
So I don't know what the time prison is, but the Tesseract Labyrinth is basically like a moment of time that you can lock a being into forever.
So
well, they're above the concept of time, so I don't think you'd even be able to do that to an imp, to be honest with you.
What chat is saying is that it is an infinite labyrinth. Which, if it's a time prison, guys, how is it also an infinite labyrinth?
Yeah, I think the Tesseract, by the name being Tesseract, is a time thing. Pretty sure it's a time, like a section of time.
Well, either way, I mean, Davoth can teleport. He can instantly travel between universes and stuff. There's ways of getting out. Like I said, the life sphere that he was trapped in, he wasn't really trapped in it. He was more so turned into a life sphere. But yeah, it's someone's entire conceptual existence put into a sphere. So it's his memories, his thoughts, his entire being locked away in this like little ball, colorful red ball. and that's kind of what it. And even when they did that, he was still able to affect the outside world by corrupting things. Like, even doing that to him did not stop the demon corruption. Even if that were to work and you trapped him in prison, it actually wouldn't solve your problem. You'd still be invaded by demons. You'd have to wipe them all out. I don't see it working. I don't.
Yeah. So somebody, I was looking it up. The Tesseract apparently not only like seals you in a moment of time, but you only exist in that universe of that Tesseract. Like, you don't exist in any other universe apparently.
I mean, that's fine, but Davoth, there's only one Davoth. He already doesn't exist in more than one universe. So
I'm just trying to see if, like, I thought of that, and then I also talked myself out of it while I was thinking of it, because, like, you could just walk out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why he couldn't just open up a portal and leave. Like, even basic bitch demons can open up portals between universes and travel between them. They do that's how they invade. Once a portal is opened between Hell and another universe, they basically have free access to that universe and could teleport all up inside of it and shit.
So that was my thought again, so there's the Eldar could use the Webway and make like Webway pockets that's like their own universe, but I don't know if the demons would also be able to teleport from because the Webway is not like, it's a weird tech. It's kind of outside of time and space and allows you to transfer from one place to another instantaneously. So I'm not sure if it would like work on the same laws as the demons teleporting in and out of realities. So that's what I was going to say to do with the Icon of Sin. It's just like every time he pops up somewhere, Eldar just make a Webway portal, dump him in the Webway portal, leave him there. Like, just push him up forward. And then if that doesn't work, then you can also use time abilities to push him into the future.
Now, to be fair, I think it is possible that you might be able to lock in like the Icon of Sin somewhere. Because while they do have the ability to teleport between different places, we actually never see Icon of Sin do that.
That's what I was wondering, is if he can do that.
No, the Icon of Sin walks through a massive portal to get from, God damn it, I'm forgetting the planet name, the universe name. It's no, not that one. It's a higher universe where the Makers are from. I'm forgetting the name of it. But he's there, and then he walks through a giant portal and then goes to Earth. No, you know what? I'm lying. He can, because when you do his boss fight, you do the first half of the boss fight, and then you fuck him up, and then he actually opens up a massive portal, walks through it, and then you have to follow him through that portal. There's no reason to think that portal didn't come from his own creation, so no, he can create portals into other.
Erdak.
Okay, Erdak. Thank you. Jesus, that was gonna bother the shit out of me. Yeah, Erdak is where the Makers come from. So so he should be able to. We do actually see him open up a portal.
I wonder if there'd be a way to build a Webway portal like around him, like a hula hoop, and then turn it on.
Perhaps. I always have a soft spot for series like Doom and Tekken. The stories aren't the best. In fact, they're like downright dog shit sometimes. But you could tell the people who write the stories are not writers, but they're just throwing all the coolest shit they could think of at the screen and hoping that something really awesome comes out. And sometimes stupid shit comes out, but sometimes really fucking cool shit comes out too, because that's what happens when you just have a bunch of bros throwing random shit at the screen trying to make shit that's cool. And I feel like Doom is kind of in that cat. Like, if you read the Doom lore, you read some stuff, you're like, that's dumb. And then you read some other stuff, you're like, that's fucking cool. That's really cool. So it's like, I kind of
Warhammer gets crazier and crazier, but I feel like the level of Doom crazy is like, yeah, we're just creating universes offhand. Like in Warhammer, that takes a lot of effort. Like the old ones created the Webway, but that was like their piece de resistance.
Well, they did. The purpose of their existence is totally different. I mean, Warhammer 40k, the purpose of its existence is for all these different factions to permanently war forever. The purpose of Doom's existence is to have the most badass, unbelievable, awesome fucking dude just wreck shit on like an unstoppable force. He could just keep beefing up the power levels of everyone involved infinitely every time a new game comes out, and it won't affect his story at all. When Warhammer 40k ups the power levels of one faction, they kind of have to up the power levels on every faction, because the story doesn't work otherwise. Like, you can't break it to where one can overcome the other. It has to be perpetual war. Doomguy isn't in perpetual war. I mean, I guess he was, not anymore though. But yeah, it's really not fair to use it in any challenge. I made the Doom survival challenges because I like talking about Doom, and I enjoy it as a series. But I mean, even I admit, like, if I had to sit down and think about somebody who would survive the Doom Demonic Invasion. It would take me a really long time to fucking think
Rough.
of somebody.
I think the closest was Warframe. Warframe did okay.
Warframe only did okay because Rouga doesn't know jack shit.
I don't know anything about Warframe.
Warframe should not have done as well as it did. I'm
okay.
to be honest, and that's coming from somebody who knows the Warframe lore.
Everybody told me that I didn't give it enough credit.
Education Ray removes you from existence entirely. And Warhammer, I'm assuming, is a Warhammer item.
I have never heard of that item. That's crazy.
Oh, Eradication Ray. Sorry.
Did you say education? Oh, education. That's funny.
He misspelled it in his super chat, so I read it as education.
Characters in Doom can erase shit from existence. For instance, Davoth can erase shit from existence, but he can't erase Doomguy. Like, you can't. They're beyond that. You have to, like, in order for Doomguy to kill Davoth, he has to actually physically kill him. A primeval can kill a primeval. If Davoth wants to kill Doomguy, he actually has to pierce his flesh with his own sword. He can't just snap his fingers and erase him away. They're beyond the concepts of those things.
But he shoot him with a gun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in the game, he stabs him with his blade. But yeah, because any weapon that Doomguy holds becomes a god-killing weapon. Like his will amplifies the power of his weapons. So
Doomguy can literally pick up a pistol, and now his pistol can kill the Davoth.
Yeah, they became. What I always like to say is he could pick up a spork and kill like any guy he wants with his fucking spork that he got in the hospital cafeteria. I'm so excited for Doom: The Dark Ages. I'm not gonna lie, man. They
took away staged kills, but I mean the other system was cool too.
Well, they added something to replace it. I'm a little sad about the execution kills not being as visually exciting as they used to be. But they did add. It is a cool system. I'm not gonna lie.
It keeps that rhythm going. Like you feel it in the music.
Yeah. But they said like what did he say? He said that playing Doom Eternal is like flying a fighter jet, whereas playing Doom: The Dark Ages is like driving a tank. He says it's a little slower. It's not as much aerial combat, but it's like you have it almost kind of looks like a first-person God of War game because you have the shield and you could parry and counter attacks from demons, and then you get like melee weapons and shit. Like, it looks fucking cool. But he also said that they're going to focus way more on story in Doom: The Dark Ages, and it's basically going to be the prequel to the Slayer Testaments that we saw. So it's basically he said it's essentially the Doom Slayer origin story and how Doomguy became Doom Slayer before he was trapped in hell for the 2 billion years or however long he was in there at the end of the Slayer Testaments. And everyone who read the Slayer Testaments thought the same thing. Where's that fucking game? And we're getting it. And that's pretty cool. The only thing I'm bummed out about is that I would have liked a sequel to Doom Eternal because of where it left off. And I'm bummed out that we're getting a prequel instead of a sequel. But it's not over. I mean, we're gonna get a sequel at some point. I'm always worried that the sequel's that they're gonna start making Doom games without Doomguy as the main character. That always worries me that that's going to eventually happen. Like
there's nobody set up like they could even do that.
Well,
who could they throw in as a Doom guy? You know what I mean? Like you can't not have Doom and not have Doom guy.
I mean, you think the same thing about Kratos, but everyone's still terrified that Atreus is going to be the fucking main character. You know, no one thought that Dante was going to be replaced by Nero, but he is. You know, it's like you just never know. Doomguy is a character. He's an old style character that you just don't see in games all that often. He's just like pure testosterone. Just like you don't see that often anymore.
I think the reason that you always get this Warhammer Dooms thing is because of that same feeling with Space Marines in the Warhammer universe. Is like we're here to fuck shit up and kill it.
A lot of that for Warhammer is also due to the fact that it came out as a tabletop first. So tabletop games are still massively associated. Like you said that you were playing D&D earlier, and Rouga's first comment was you got to do some exercise. There's still so much stigmas around tabletop games and around characters like Doomguy. That's why there are so many funny videos to watch, like Radical Feminist Reviews Doom, and it's just fucking hilarious to see their reactions.
To be clear, when I said that he needs to go get some exercise, it was not because he was playing tabletop. It's because he went through a several-hour tabletop session to then sit in a several-hour-long stream. This dude has not moved his legs all day. That's why I said that. It wasn't because of a stigmatism against.
It didn't really work out, but yeah.
That's a different thing. Well, but my point still kind of stands. And on that note, I'm pretty sure we have come to the end of what this conversation and / debate was. And it comes down to
Well-
Warhammer has a very, very slim chance, not
Yeah.
non-existent, but very, very slim at even reaching Davoth. And if they do, it's even slimmer that they win.
If you remove it, well, like if you remove Davoth entirely, and you just have to deal with the demons, I still think it's unlikely, to be honest with you. Like
Yeah.
again, I can't
think
say
they
for
can take on anything physical. I think that the Icon of Sin, I don't know how they beat it. I think there probably is a way through some shenanigans, maybe with the Eradication Ray or something like that. Like I know you can delete souls and delete beings in Warhammer, but I don't know if the Icon of Sin has a soul. We don't know what the Icon of Sin is.
You know what would be cool? I think we need to know more about them before we actually talk about it, but I think eventually, especially with the Dark Ages coming out, if we learn more about the Sentinels versus the Imperium of Man might be like a really cool conversation.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. But so on that note, Jonas Ori said, I'd like to debate Warhammer versus StarCraft 2